Hello and welcome to Broadsword Wargaming. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at some female Imperial Guard models. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button for more videos to come, or check out the links below if you wish to support the channel in any other way. For this video, I'm doing a video on Imperial Guard, particularly female ones. There has been a lot of talk for years now about Games Workshop supporting a female guard line. It hasn't happened. We did see a female Cadian Shocktrooper in the most recent 40k animation video they did. They released the special limited edition model as well, so possibly something is happening, I don't know. But these guys at 40 Emperor are running a Kickstarter. I don't know them personally, outside of the fact they dropped me a message, and they've sent me some models over to take a look at, review, put together and glue. These are 3D printed models. If you've got a 3D printer or know someone with one, you will be able to buy these models. I think if you go like the top tiers on things here, you can actually buy the rights to sell the models as well. So quite an interesting concept. They've got some tanks, they've got some soldiers, they've got some leaders, plasma guns, flamers, that kind of stuff. I think they essentially are Taurox tanks actually, so they would apply to the Scions more so than anything else. They do have more things coming in the future, I think, but I'm going to put them together, stick some glue on them, paint them, and then show you what they look like and have a chat about the quality as well afterwards. So I'll catch you guys back at the end.
This is the box I received. These are the Azadi Death Front miniatures. There are tanks, loads and loads of troops. I think I've got enough here for about 1,000 points. So that's 30 troops, some special weapons, some leaders and some tanks. The models look really good. I've never dealt with 3D printed models before at all, and I wasn't really sure what I'd expect. Judging by them close up, the quality of detail is very similar to plastics or other resins, other things I've used before. The tanks, although require a tiny bit of cleaning up underneath, and some of the prints aren't 100% smooth, there are small lines in the front. They are not noticeable unless you're really, really closely inspecting the models. They require cleaning just like any other model, not as difficult because unlike say the plastics maybe that you get with Games Workshop where the flash lines can be on flat sections or aren't that well placed. These are just the support lines, so are very, very fine. I put them all together, sprayed them black and gave them a white zenithal just so you can catch the detail. And there is a lot of detail on these models. I was very impressed, particularly with the tank. I love these tanks. I'm going to paint these as close to sort of an earthy color as I can. So I'm using khakis, Vallejo paints as an airbrush. The first coat going on here is the khaki. This is my mid-tone. And although this isn't really a painting tutorial, I am going to show you how I paint these models. The scheme I'm going for is a very current modern warfare style scheme. As was written in the Kickstarter, these are based loosely off the Peshmerga soldiers, which I think are a female soldier group, male as well, but they have female soldiers who kind of have these coloured headbands, coloured sashes, and kind of desert coloured clothing. So I'm going to try and paint these as close as I can to those with a bit of a futuristic twist. With the mid coat down, it's on to doing the shades and the highlights. So here I've got a slightly darker colour. It's almost a slightly warmer colour as well. And I'm just hitting some of the panels underneath to try and make some contrast. I don't want these too futuristic. I don't want these really, really high sci-fi, really, really highly saturated and highly contrast miniatures. I want these to be a little bit more flatter, but still with some interest. The flag, by the way, is really well sculpted. It highlights beautifully. And I was really, really happy with these results, especially as this is my first time painting in this kind of scheme. Next, it's onto some edge highlighting, and here I'm using the overbrushing technique I learned in my most recent NMM video, Painting the Night. Do check that one out if you haven't. This involves the brush being slightly wetter than a dry brush, and you're just catching the edges. So I'm trying to bring some attention up to where the light hits, and actually this picture shows it perfectly because that is the light and where the light is hitting. By slicing up those points and those parts, I can bring up some color. And these are the models once all those base khaki military fatigues have been done. Then this is onto details, and there is a lot of detail on these models. I didn't want to go overboard here, so I'm just doing the metals. I've done some blacks as well. I've used contrast paint on the tires. They still need cleaning up at this point, but by doing all the metals here, there aren't that many on these models because it doesn't really seem to fit the kind of scheme they have, but there are some spikes, there's some belts, other bits and bobs as well to do. And then using other colours here, I've got a red, a green, the Gorthor brown is for the head sashes. And I'm just going to colour in and detail the rest of the models. I won't show you everything here. I tried a few different headscarf schemes. I tried purple, which I think is more traditional. I tried some yellows and things like that, and they just didn't quite work for me. So a bit of a process of trial and error. I kind of found that these are the best colors, or at least the colors I liked. This is the green now for the armor and any of those armor pieces on the models. And then they have a red sash around the middle. I did again try purple here. I tried brown armor, gray armor, and nothing really seemed to go as well as these colors. The red is a true splash of color. Possibly could have gone a little bit darker, but I was happy with that splash of color on these models. Then it's on to the washes. So I'm keeping this scheme relatively simple and a little bit old school. I'm not going to use oils and things. So once all the washes are on, these are how the models look now. And these are near completion at this point. There's still a few bits to do, and there are more highlights I could add to these models. But before I do, I thought I'd try something else out as well. I've seen this around a lot, and I really wanted to put some color onto the tank. So this pale blue seemed like the answer. It's a really, really soft light blue, very pastel colored. I then used a white up to the centers to really sort of give that effect of a glowy light front. And I was really, really happy with how this turned out. Then it's just onto the base rims once I've done the rest of the details. So here I'm just painting these with the matte black, the scale 75. I'm doing a very thin coat because I don't like it when you see those cloggy edges on bases. Don't know, just a pet peeve of mine. 2 coats of this will do nicely. Then using the Geek Gaming Base Ready Desert Sand and Stone, mixed in with a tiny bit of fine grout as well, ivory grout, just to give it that whiter color. I used some Base Ready paint on the bottoms of these models. I'm going to obviously go for the deserty theme because that seems to fit, as they are deserty colored. So all you got to do is get it, give them a dunk in like this. You don't have to be particularly gentle, and I'm happy to get some of the grout up the trouser legs as well because I think that just adds to the weathering. And there you go, that is the models finished. I've done a few other bits. I've given them a matte varnish at this point as well, and I've gone back up with the grout to give texture around the bottom of the tank. I have 4 of these, and I cannot wait to finish the rest of them. I think some transfers, some stripes down the front, some unit markings, and these things will look awesome. Then on to the leaders. So this is the current leader you can buy. I think this is the current standard bearer as well. These are the only main characters you've got outside of the unit sergeants. There are heavy weapons support teams. I didn't paint the dude because I'm an idiot. I also thought I'd show you a scale comparison. So this is one of the Broadsword brethren painted in my recent 24-hour painting video, and that's how they scale up. I do think the models are a bit smaller than the Space Marines, which is good. That one standing up is particularly tall. What an awesome set of models, and I hope you guys enjoyed them.
There you have it, that is the video. What do you guys think of those models? Personally, I like them. 3D printed models isn't something I have any experience with at all previously. I don't own a 3D printer, so I guess really not having one would restrict me to not being able to have these models at all unless they sent them to me or I knew someone who does have one. Now, there are 3D printing services out there and people who will do this for you. There's also a lot of really nice people in the community actually who, if you put up on some posts, they will generally offer for a fee to print the models for you as well, so do check those out. You've got lots of choice here. You've got lots of arms, you've got lots of weapons, you've got lots of legs, lots of bodies, some vehicles. I know there's more coming as well, so I'm quite impressed with the range. The sculpts are pretty nice, possibly a tiny bit small and possibly a tiny bit basic in some places, but certainly no less basic than the old Guard we have now. So do check the link out below for the Kickstarter, or if the Kickstarter is finished, do check out their website as well. I'll leave the link below. If you enjoyed this video and do want to support the channel, please do make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the alarm bell for more videos to come. Check out the links below. There's my Patreon down there, which gives you access to a private Discord, as well as other benefits coming up, hopefully when things settle down and I move and lockdown calms down. There's also links to buy some models from if you prefer stuff Games Workshop-wise. Go to Element Games or Grim Dice, and I've got an Amazon shop down there for my essentials. Not really much more to say. Thank you very much to the guys for sending me these models. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I will catch you guys in another video. Take care.